coming into this, I thought it was going to be pretty tough to actually come up with 10 games that involve rollerblading that I would actually want to recommend. Turns out there was a pretty decent amount of games out there, and I actually had to take a bunch of games off the list that I thought were total shoo-ins. I actually had to incorporate some criteria for this list. There has to be a playable character that utilizes inline skates. I've ranked these games by the amount of personal enjoyment that I've received from them and the amount of playtime that I've gotten out of them. Just remember that this is my list and not yours. We're going to have different opinions, and that's fine. It's cool. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. With that said, let's get to the list. Okay, number 10, Zenith. Zenith is an indie game that's freeware for both the PC and Mac. I've only played this one briefly, but the art, the sound, the quirkiness, and the sense of speed is enough for me to give this one a recommendation. Now here's a short game, but what do you expect? It's a free game. Just try it out. It's not going to cost you anything. Give it a try. I need to. Number 9, Street Gears. This was an online racing game that seemed to be riding the popularity of Air Gears. I played it for a day or two, and it seemed like a well-produced MMO. Unfortunately, this game has been abandoned, and both the official and private servers have shut down. Number 8, Blading the Game. This was an iPhone game conceived by the living legend himself, John Julio. Being a phone game from 2012, I remember this game was fairly basic, but it was a fun and challenging enough game to be a good little time killer and drainer of batteries. I don't believe that this is available anymore in the App Store, so I guess I'm sorry if I'm recommending 2 games you can't play anymore. But I remember them being good and pretty well produced games. Number 7, Rolling. Undoubtedly, the most robust aggressive inline skating game of its time. Rolling had the trick vocabulary to replicate almost any trick you would want to do in 2003. They also worked with the top pros and companies to make it the official game for real rollerbladers. I even have an edit in the game that I still have not been able to unlock without cheating. As far as I know, it was only released in Europe, which I'm sure severely hurt its popularity. There are still copies floating around, and if you want to play a semi-realistic aggressive skating game or want to relive some of the old days, this is the one I would recommend. Number 6, Aggressive Inline. This is the aggressive skating game that most of us played. It came out at the right time when both inline and skating games were massively popular. Even though Rolling was a better game technically, I put this one ahead of it because it was just plain more fun. Yeah, it can be quite cheesy at times, but the ridiculousness just added to the game for me. This game is pretty easy to come by as well. Check the bargain bin at your local game store, and there's a good chance that there's a copy or 2 in there. Let's look at eBay right now. Aggressive Inline, $3.99, $4.25, $1.31 for $5. Yeah, there are plenty of copies out in the wild, and you can get one pretty cheap. So, looking at eBay, it's totally easy to get. Number 5, Pokemon X and Y. Now I know what you're thinking. How is Pokemon even a skating game? How is it going to beat out Aggressive Inline? Well, I told you, this is my list, and quite frankly, I get bored of the Tony Hawk style games pretty quickly. Pokemon, on the other hand, is a game I could spend hours on and still want to play more. And better yet, you get skates in X and Y, and you can even grind and unlock tricks while capturing your Pokemons. Number 4, Skitchin! So with all the hours that I put into Skitchin, I really wanted to rate this one higher. It's basically Road Rash, but better. You can grab onto cars, beat up other skaters, do tricks, and upgrade your gear. All the things I love doing. You can even do a front flip to back flip. Seriously, that's the best score you can do, judges? Dude is defying gravity here. Also, I love the soundtrack, and it's forever stuck in my head. The only reason why this game isn't higher on the list is because the gameplay gets old pretty quickly, and it gets quite challenging and very frustrating in the end from what I remember. Even so, it's still worth playing today. Number 3, Streets of Rage 2. This was originally my number 1 game, but got bumped to 3rd because it doesn't have great replayability. But this game, oh man, this game. You don't even have to be a great gamer to enjoy the beauty that is Streets of Rage 2. I played through it with my wife and we had a blast. So much so that we've not been able to find a comparable gaming experience since. It's got the music's so good. And it's got the special moves, the funky bad guys, and best of all, it's got skate. Streets of Rage 2 is not a skating game per se, but it's an amazing game with a skater main character. It's just the right length, so you can play it in one sitting with a friend and be done with it until you've got that itch to kick the crap out of some fat fire-breathing baddies and scream at how cheap the dude with a jetpack is. God, I hated that dude so much. Streets Rage 3, 4, and soon to be 5 are a thing, but to me, number 2 will always be a classic, and if anybody wants to play through Streets Rage 2, I'm down, let's go. Number 2,
Jet Set Radio!
Jet Grind Radio, also known as Jet Set Radio, is the game that makes rollerblading seem cool to the general public. It is the most popular inline skating game and comes with high praise. Not only that, it stood the test of time beautifully with its cel-shaded graphics and catchy tunes. As cheesy as it may seem at times, it embodies the aggressive skate culture as it incorporates grinds, airs, graffiti, crew battles, trick matching, and ditching the cops. It's so good that it even got a sequel and an HD re-release. So if you're in the mood to play a skate game, don't sleep on this one. Number 1, Overwatch. This is the most popular game that features a blader as a playable character. Prove me wrong. Lucio is the hero that I have the most hours played, and he's useful in almost any team. He has an AoE heal, a team speed boost, he can wall ride all over the place, he's got a boop for crowd control, and he can even get some kills in. Blizzard did us a solid by giving the man some skates. Especially in a time when skating wasn't on anyone's radar. Is it going to save rollerblading? Of course not. But it's a fun game, and I have more hours put into Overwatch than the rest of the top 10 list combined. So there you go, the top 10 inline games in my opinion. Hopefully we'll be seeing more inlining in video games, especially with the upcoming release of Roller Champions. So what do you think? Is this a solid list, or am I way off the mark? Did I miss any good skating games? Let me know in the comments, and I guess subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. That's all I got. Alright, bye.